Well, this is the Yuma Gardener, and since I showed my terrible area that's in my garden, this place that's my work area that is so out of control, I decided that since I made it public now, I really need to clean it up. So here I am, and I'm out here trying to figure out what to do with some of these things. So I had a bunch of twigs, and twigs are really good for the garden. I use them for hummingbird perches, but I think I have enough of those. And most of my containers are full, and I have this one 18-gallon container left that I haven't done anything with. It has all of the debris from the vines that I took off of the cross vine when I took down the lattice. So all of the debris I just threw into this container. So I am going to use this container to make some soil for next spring. So I'm leaving all of the dried leaves, green leaves, in the bottom. I put some twigs on top. I really should do that the other way around, put the twigs on the bottom and the green vine leaves on top. But that's how it was, so I'm not gonna empty this and start all over again. Let's see, I had back here in this area, and I'm going to dump this in here. That had a lot of dead trimmings from other plants, leaves. It's like some wood chips. I don't know, one channel said don't put wood chips in your compost, and I just don't believe that. They're gonna break down. They break down just like everything else. So I don't know why some people come up with the strangest things, but that's how they like to garden, and everybody gardens differently. You probably garden differently from what I do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Now, it may or may not work, okay? So gardening is like a continuous experiment just to see what is going to happen. I found a paper towel roll that I can just drop in there because that will break down, and also that's going to make some pretty good soil from the paper towel rolls. I have some toilet paper rolls in the house, but I'm saving that for another craft project, so that's the only one that I see out here at this particular time. As I get to a little area that I can sweep up, I'm just going to dump all of that into this container. And one of the things you don't want to have in there is something shiny and kind of half plastic, half paper. The wrappers on these things, they don't break down, so you don't want to put that in your container that you're setting up for making your own soil, because you know soil prices have really skyrocketed. So most of my containers have been topped off with compost and purchased soil, but I'm making this one container for next spring when I need to top it off some more. I'm gonna dump some old soil that is from another pot, and I don't really have to break that up, but I'm going to try to hack that up a little bit just so I can have some more room to put, because all of this is just gonna break down quite a bit. I have a bunch of little pots that I'm not going to be using. So I am going to put them in one of my buckets here that I have so that I can when I have more time, and I'm gonna put my long handle brush in there, so when I have more time I can wash out those pots. Maybe I'll put them in the yard sale, or maybe I'll just keep them for some annual plants. But now that I have them in a bucket, I can actually move these around, and I think I'm going to try to find some room. Let's see if I can find some room in the other storage, in my garden storage shed. But for now, I'm going to just sit it there because that storage shed is a disaster too. Everything. I have some large pots that I got from the nursery, and I've got a bunch of them in my storage area. So I'm going to sit these over closer to the door where they're going to be stored. Oh, that one has water in it. I don't want standing water because that creates that's a weird one. Look at how high those holes are and how big they are. That's interesting. I probably set it aside because I didn't want to use that one, because I put my holes up, but I don't make them that ginormous. So this is going to go into the trash bin. Okay, we got rid of that. So now back over here to where all of these pots are that I want to save. So are you ready for a shock? Oops. Open up the garden storage shed. Oh dear. Well, we're having several yard sales, and hopefully some of these things can find a new home. Well, we're having a yard sale, so hopefully some of these things can find a new home. Let's see if I can fit this down in here one-handed. Probably wondering what the heck I'm doing. I'm trying to stack those pots that I got from the nursery, and this is shredded paper someone gave me. I use that a lot to and this is cardboard. I use shredded paper in my when I'm making my soil. So let me pull this out. In the storage shed, I found a plastic bag that had some cardboard from the egg crates. And the egg crate that I kind of broke it up, and with the intention of using it for exactly this purpose. But I have so many projects going on, I tell you, I can't keep up with myself. It's just taken over, but I got to get control, because when things start growing and producing, I want to be not in the mode of creating a garden. I want to switch over to tending the garden. Okay, so I set up my tripod, which it's not for me. I need to practice more with the tripod and keep my fingers out of the video. So I found this shredded paper. I'm not going to use all of it, but I am going to drop some shredded paper down in here. Whoa, that's how my work area gets messy. I can't contain it. It's just all over the place. Stuff is just all everywhere. All of this shredded paper, everything that I'm putting in here, all the dead leaves, the green leaves, the branches, maybe I am going to use all this paper. It seems to be filtering down. It's filtering down into the basket, which is good. So I'm not going to end up throwing away a lot of it, because this is all I need it for, is making soil for next year. And that's what I'm going to designate this particular planter, this container. It's an 18-gallon storage container. This one, I think I found it at maybe at the thrift store. Not sure, but it wasn't one that I got online, because there's only one of them. Now, what I didn't do, what I haven't done yet, is put some holes in it. So I'm going to plug in my soldering iron, which is very difficult to reach because of all the stuff that I'm trying to clear out. And I'm going to put that on a I'm going to set this up on a trolley. These are available. I got this at Harbor Freight. And I believe Harbor Freight is around in quite a few cities. If you have a Harbor Freight, let me know where you're from. And how often do you shop at Harbor Freight? They sometimes have some good deals. Every time I go in there and I see it's not that pair, it's another pair of scissors. And when I go in, here they are over here. These are kitchen scissors. Every time I go to Harbor Freight, if they have them on sale for 25 cents, I pick up a pair. So I was in Harbor Freight just the other day, and I was looking for some solar lights, and I did get a couple of packages of solar lights. So I'm heating up my soldering iron, and the reason I want to heat that up is I need to make some holes in the bottom of my storage container. So, okay, so I got the soldering iron, and it's plugged in, and now I need to move you back a little bit. There I go with my fingers all in the camera. There we go. I want you to see. You have to tighten this up, but it doesn't want to tighten. Okay, let me just leave it like that. And I'm going to put holes. I do about an inch up. over here on this side. I don't know, are you able to see what I'm doing? I'm just using the soldering iron. It's getting really hot now, smoking. And you had to be very careful with the soldering iron because it gets very, very hot. And what I do, I have a little setup back here, and that's why I need to clean up this area. I have a setup back here. There's a plastic container that has a bud vase in it, a glass bud vase, and I keep the soldering iron in that. And it's heat resistant. So I'm going to take this down. So now I've got the shredded paper in there. I even have an old paper towel there. And I'm going to start putting in some soil, that used soil from this past season. So this is going to be help to get refurbished. I am refurbishing this soil. I think I had the 3 orchid trees in these pots, and my orchid trees that I started from seed did not survive. Unfortunately, they didn't make it through the summer. I don't know, maybe now might be a good time to start some more seeds for the orchid tree, but I don't know if I have any left. So that is 3 pots of used up soil from last year. So I am refurbishing that. I'm gonna go look and see if I can't find any more pots that have soil in it. Well, I found 3 more small pots that had some soil in it that was used from last year. And here's another one. Wow, I don't know what was in that, but it had a lot of roots and it was really dry. These two were pretty moist and didn't have any roots. Well, what do you think? Okay, now the reason why I am putting soil on top of all the other stuff that's in there is because whatever is on top does not break down. What's underneath will break down. And let's see. I really don't want to put any kitchen scraps in this because this is going to sit for a while, and I don't know why I don't want to put any kitchen scraps in here, because I've already gotten to the point where I should have put some in there already, and I didn't do that. Let me see if I can dig up a spot. I'm gonna go inside and see if I can't find some kitchen scraps. Okay, I went inside and I found in the crisper last week's trimmings from my grocery shopping, which this should have been put in here before I did all this other stuff. So I'm just gonna try to get it in there. Why no gloves, of course. Who needs gloves when you're dealing with rotten fruit? Yuck. Okay. So now, in order for this to break down, I really want to get that covered up. So that's why I should have put it in here. I wasn't thinking. Of course, you know, I have a CRS, and people have different explanations for what CRS is. And I just say that it stands for can't remember stuff. Oh my goodness. It's getting to the point where, you know, at least it's not Alzheimer's, I don't think. Don't laugh, Lorraine. Don't even laugh. Okay, I got it covered up. Doesn't matter that it's all in one spot. When it breaks down, it will spread out. And now that I have all of this stuff in here, what I want to do is water it down very well until it starts to run out of the holes. So this is why I make a big mess in my work area, because when the water starts running out of the hole, it is going to make mud pies. I don't know if we used to make mud pies when I was a kid. I have an older brother, well, and a younger brother. I had two older brothers. One of them has passed away. The other one I have only heard from just on the rare occasions. He just sends me an email and says, just checking on you. So to him I say, I am doing great. I am gardening practically every day. The weather right now in Arizona is in the 80s, I believe, today. And I just went in the house to see about those kitchen scraps, if I had any, and I usually do. But the weather forecaster came on the National Weather Service, makes this big announcement that we're expecting thunder showers today. And looks like it is getting a bit cloudy out. We've had quite a lot of rain in Yuma this year, which is very unusual. And I might have to stop this video if it does start to rain. But the rain isn't that bad. The rain doesn't bother me. I love the rain. But sometimes we get really, really high winds, and you just have to go in and button down the hatches. So hopefully I can get all of this watered down before the rain starts. Or if it does rain. I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine that lives in the RV park, and she said it was going to rain. And then when I went out to the mailroom to get my mail yesterday, they had sandbags, because that room has it seems to be below the soil level, and so when it rains, the water seeks its lowest level, and at least that's what I was told in school. Is that right? Water will seek its lowest level. Put a comment in that, because that came out of nowhere, out of my mouth. And that might be something I learned when I was in elementary school. So, anyway, they put some sandbags up. So I was the only one walking around yesterday saying, is it going to rain? So the National Weather Service says we're going to have some severe thunderstorms. And I do see some clouds. Hummingbirds are coming in to get something to eat before they have to find their little niche where they hang out during bad weather, so that they can hunker down. And so anyway, what I want you to see, I hope you can see this, because I have the camera on the tripod. As I water this down, the level of the soil is sinking. The compost is sinking. It's going down also. So when I see, oh yeah, okay, now I got water coming out the bottom. So I am going to stop right there and put the top on this. You really don't have to put the top on it, but we have cats and things around here that don't belong to anyone. And okay, wind is picking up. There's more water. I'm going to turn you around a little bit. You're still on the tripod, but there you see water is coming out the bottom holes. So as soon as you see that, that's when you want to stop watering, because you know that the reservoir has water, and this is all excess water. So as soon as that stops running out, I am going to take a look in there and see. Well, I can peek now and see. The level has gone down, and I have some soil that I really didn't like very much this year. I got some cheap soil from Walmart. I usually like to use my own compost, like what I'm making now for the spring. And then what I do is, when I'm setting up my containers for spring planting or fall planting, I use the compost, and then I can top it off with some Miracle-Gro. Well, I was trying to be cheap, and I bought some really cheap soil, and oh, it wasn't even worth the money that I paid for it. So it just, I'm going to put that on top of this container. Let me stop and grab that. Well, the water is still draining. I got this great big old lump of cheap soil, and it is really hard as a rock. Wow. Look at that. Oops. See? This is what makes a mess. It's not just me. It's it's me. I don't know how to be a neat gardener. You know, some people I see on YouTube, and everything is in place. And this one guy, he's repotting plants, and he has his little loose soil on the table and his little pots, and he just puts his seedlings in there and scoops up the dirt, and everything is all neat and tidy. And I'm wondering, how in the world does he do that? You know? So that's not me. I'm kind of a messy. See, who wants to put this in to your garden. My gosh. If you put that in a pot, looks like it would become cement. I am really hitting this thing. Trying to break it down. Okay, some of that. You see how far down this went? I think the water has stopped seeping out the top. And I'm just using this cheap stuff because I want to get rid of it and get it out of my work area. It's one less thing that I have to deal with over here, and maybe I can get some more stuff cleaned up. Also, I think I'm done with this shredded paper, so I'm going to put that in the garbage bin because I'm not going to use any more of that this year. Like I said, all of my planters are set up pretty much the way I want them. I still have I don't know if I did a video on these or not. Can you see that? These are some succulents that a friend of mine gifted to me. I have planted quite a few of them around my palm tree, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 5 of these. And so I'll use some of this poor, this bad soil that I bought. And that is why I picked up a bucket of sand so I can add some sand to it for the succulents. So now I'm showing you a picture of my tripod. So yeah, boy, it takes getting used to these things. Anyway, so that added to the mess that I have over here in my work area. But I need to get those 5 succulents repotted, and I think that would really help. So let me stop this video. I'm not going to do anything else right now to the container, which I'm making compost for next year, rich soil for next year, next season, hopefully. We have 2 planting seasons. One's in August, September, and the other one is in January, February, or February, March. So this hopefully will be ready for March when I need to top off my planters.